I'm joking.
Are you interested?
How you doing, man? I'm just a guest this week.
I don't know what agent you have now or something that made you think that you're, it's told you that you're someone. I bet. Recording, yeah? One second.
Okay.
Is there not phones are waiting?
While we wait for Abdul Malik.
No.
Silent people.
No. Do you know if you like if you don't respond now, you're not gonna respond.
You're not gonna respond.
And by the time you then respond, you'll be getting Kellogg's Frosties back. So I said, let me just humble myself and do it now, while I've got their attention.
Fair enough.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. I'm home, and I'm happy.
I mean, you could say we are, but it's a completely different place.
I know.
It's completely different. So
I know, man. Obviously, there's a little. Is that on the camera? Is that on the camera? It's not on the camera. You did that on purpose, didn't you? Huh? I should do MTV Cribs to this place. It's over. They don't know how I look before it. But anyway,
you can see the table.
They can see the table. It's not the same table.
You know, he's not responsible for this either.
I know. Production is someone has produced something nice for production. And production is now, and he's even producing smiles that I didn't see.
He's an executive producer.
Yeah, executive producer. You're managing a bigger team, innit? Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Production and the production family have allowed us to, come back into the space. Alhamdulillah. And we're back. Obviously, it's new settings, nice new table. We have ornaments and that. And what's this from? Where's this from? Morocco. Mashallah. Yeah, man. Welcome back, people, to Jollof after Jummah, episode 41. And we've got more change. We've got Ibs back.
Oh yeah,
he survived.
Yeah, I'm back, man.
Fresh off the oxygen chamber and that.
Yeah, man.
You good, yeah?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm calm.
You got free coughs, yeah. And you're out, bro. And obviously, you may have noticed as well. We've got a special guest. It's not Teslim. Who was here last time? We've got the other twin. Alhamdulillah, we've got
I've been
our
there
brother.
before.
Yeah.
Did we have visuals when you were here?
Nah,
I don't think we did.
so.
We didn't, did
Yeah,
we?
so they haven't seen him before, but they've heard from him. From what was it, Nigerian correspondent?
Yeah, first episode.
So we've got the Nigerian correspondent back in the building. This time you can see him, who is also glowing and smiling a bit different. Alhamdulillah. I could get into a bit later anyway. So the man them are just.
Trust me.
The man them are just. Hey, anyway, we'll touch on this later because we got some things to discuss today, innit? So hey, in fact, if you're listening, just pause it now, obviously, before liking that. Go and bring your sister, go and bring your auntie, go and bring everyone you know, because I think our brother Taofiq has a message. He has a message for you today, but we'll get into that a bit later. Yeah, man, we got our brother Taofiq, back on the pod, individuals. So they know who you are already, but just give a little brief.
Glad to be back. Alhamdulillah, just one of the brothers. Grew up with these man, Old Kent Road Masjid. Alhamdulillah, we're on the Shura together. Kind of running the youth program out there.
This is the Amir, the big boss. So,
Alhamdulillah. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
And how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
What's popping? What's new?
What's new? Alhamdulillah. Recently got married.
Sorry, production. You're not. You know what I mean? You're taking your shine, man.
So yeah, alhamdulillah. Just I took a month off work as well, just to settle down. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Must be nice.
So, very nice. Enjoying the sunshine. Can't complain.
Allah put better can bless you.
And
Ibs, I've asked you already. I don't know if I haven't.
I'm good, man. My taste and smell is back small.
You can taste that.
Just slightly, but yeah.
It's hot, but yeah. I feel like we shouldn't even just.
Dylan's hiding himself out. Huh? COVID.
Oh boy, I said anyway. So man,
got the vaccine,
Yeah, if not for vaccine, I know you man that ain't got vaccine anyway. Anyway.
Let me start dropping off.
Taofiq.
Yes, sir.
So you've come today, and it seems that obviously we had a little conversation. When was it? Just after the England match, yeah. After the which Ibs predicted England would win.
What?
I'm sure you said England would win.
When I said they get
So,
dunked
yeah.
on, and you know, they did.
I'm sure you said they were gonna win.
I didn't. I said, did he get dunked on?
You said it's coming in.
No. I said, yeah. I said at the end trying to cover my back because you snaked me.
I'm a snake.
I like it, man.
Well done.
Before that
Yeah, go
though,
on.
was the reaction to the black players missing unexpected, or is it just like
No, sure we didn't
it
touch on
was
that.
what
Yeah,
was
we should touch on that. Yeah, we should touch
It
on
wasn't unexpected, and it's why I can't support England.
Do you know,
Literally, it's why.
You know it's sad, yeah?
It's why I can't support England. I'm
I'm
sorry.
always confused with that. Not confused, but it's always like I have to do a double take when I
Yeah.
see a black person wear an England jersey. Because if it was like a Team GB kind of jersey, like I'm British, I'm a Londoner, like I'm English.
Yeah.
English.
I don't know about that.
This is why.
St. Judas,
I think, and this is why when people were getting onto me in like group chats, I was actually quite surprised people were getting onto me for it. I think this is we kind of touched on it when we were talking about the France thing as well. I think people might look at football a little bit differently. Some people might
What
just
are people
see
getting on to you
for
for?
not supporting England.
Oh, okay.
And Tess and I've been
That's your
getting-
brother.
Yeah, and I was so baffed. And people view football differently, innit? For me, it's if you're playing for a nation, the way I see it is that you support that nation and you agree with, I guess, let me not say their regimes, but you're just, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just, if you're representing a nation, you represent everything that nation stands for. That's the way it is for me. That's the way it's different, and I completely agree. That's the way I look at it. For other people, it might just be playing for a football team, and in that sense,
Sometimes
they
about
can support.
access to accolades and stuff like that. Like,
And that's totally fine. That's just the way I view it. So, and with England, I'm indifferent. If they were to win, I'd be very, very happy for the squad because I like those players. But if they lose, which they
And you're happy for
it's
the
no skin
English.
off my nose. It's no skin
You're
off my
happy
nose.
for the English fans that are not. No. Look. If I've got friends at work here, for example, yeah, or people I know, yeah, cool, just people,
yeah.
and I've seen them happy.
Yeah.
You know, happiness is kind of contagious, so you'd be happy with them.
I guess so. Yeah.
So it's not. So I'm gonna be more happy, for example, if England win than if Germany win, for example.
For
Because
me, I'd be happy for the players and the players. That's it.
the thing is, but does that mean you agree with everything the players represent? And everything the players. Can you remember you said everything? Because do you know what I mean? Yes, they're doing some good stuff, but it doesn't mean we agree with everything. That
Well, obviously not. I feel like being happy for a person is
same
different
way.
from-
That's why with the country, it's like not everything the country. Like
Yeah.
'cause, you know, the country maybe the country has NHS. I support them for that because that's a good thing. Not because I work for it, but as in the NHS,
Yeah.
it's a country of maybe. Do you know what I mean? So there's
I guess it's just the way people look at things, isn't it? It's just the way people look at things. So yeah.
yeah. It's just mad that we're in an age where you see a black player do something and you expect it to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe that's partly why it happens so much because everybody's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get like, you know, people like as soon as they missed like, in the group chats, it's like, oh boys,
Yeah.
you know, don't go outside, brace yourselves. It's like, so I don't know. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know, man.
I know this ain't a football podcast, but what was
go on.
Southgate thinking with that selection of pen takers? Like, you got senior players on the pitch.
I
Sterling's not taking one.
am of the stance.
Grealish
Yeah.
ain't taking one.
I'm of the
He wanted
stance.
to take one.
Bringing Bukayo.
Apparently he wanted to take one. He put it on Twitter. He actually
Yeah, I
you
know.
saw it,
I know.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It was the lineup for me.
Yeah.
It was the
And
way
them
it
guys
was
taking
the-
one
it-
step
it-
penalties
it was
as
the
well. What do you
lineup.
think you are taking
It
one
was
step
the lineup.
penalties? You run up and you smash the ball.
It was an awful
I don't want to
lineup
go
for
to
me.
you know, but for me, I believe that that's a hindsight thing. That if I think it's a hindsight.
I don't.
Do you know what?
think
Do you know?
it is.
Yeah. Do
I
you know what?
not
Do you know why?
think it is.
Because it's like if they now all missed and we said and it came out like because Saka and Rashford are entering and we were the only one scoring. Wow, we should have taken.
no.
Then people will say, oh, they were the only ones. Why would you pick?
But
To be
like,
fair,
again,
Rashford was a good decision because Rashford takes penalties.
he
for
took
United.
it, and the thing is that the penalty, it wasn't a bad penalty. He set the keeper the wrong way as well.
I was just gonna say, clap for yourself. Next time when I'm talking about cars for like half a
know,
second,
we never
but
stop
this is
people
my hair
this
is
is
on the pot.
this is
I'm
national.
ripping out all
This
the wires.
is a national.
Bro,
This is a national
I'm
story
ripping-
though.
I don't care.
This is a national story.
We've spent half of the entire episode talking about cars, by the way, and this and you're
We
talking.
can talk F1 though. Did you see-
That wasn't about cars. That was about that.
You can talk it. The editor might have some words to say about it.
See that episode? That's a situation that would have affected everybody. That's not a petrol head talk. That was about
Which
electric
one?
cars.
Which one?
The one about electric cars.
Okay, this is more
Every
of a
other time
public.
I've talked
People
about
are more
cars on a
interested in this.
podcast-
It's the racism angle that we started this.
Yeah.
We just
More people are talking about this than.
Listen, no one's talking about
Again,
football.
for
People
me-
are talking about
What?
people are talking
Wait,
about.
Julia, you know you just said
people
no
are
one's talking about football.
People are talking about the.
You said no one's talking about
people,
football.
People are talking about the actions that occurred after the football match.
No, people are talking about this specific thing, the psychology behind why would you let these people, young people, do something that's better pressure.
I did again.
People are talking about.
Again, that's the psychology. That's not the actual football match itself.
Yeah, we're not talking about the football match. We're talking about that's what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about.
You heard football and you went.
I heard Southgate.
Go on.
Again, I don't have an issue with the players that took the penalties. It's the lineup. That's the problem for me.
Oh, you mean before the match? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's no. The penalty lineup, the order in which you have the players taking the penalties. In no way, in no world, should Bukayo Saka be taking a fifth penalty. There's no way. That should never happen. And I said it like 4 times in the chat as well. Look at his Italian counterpart.
For me,
Look at who takes the fifth penalty for Italy.
for me, I just don't believe. I think it's a hindsight thing, and that's why I just
It's
reserve.
not.
Think back
It
to all the
isn't
Liverpool
hindsight.
penalties.
It
I'm
isn't
thinking
hindsight.
the 2 Chelsea Champions League kind
It's
of
not
finals.
hindsight.
Yeah.
Thingy. Drogba was meant to take the penalty. He got sent off, so Terry took it. And then when we actually did win it, the rightful man took the 5th penalty.
Exactly.
Drogba.
It's not
You don't
hindsight.
give a small boy
Because
to
the fifth
take that last
penalty. The
penalty.
fifth penalty is always the most pressure. It's always so you don't put it on a 19-year-old. You don't.
On a lot of penalty shirts, you don't make it to the last penalty. That's one, but you don't. And so
Okay,
why would
but-
you? So that's why people say, you've heard this before. Oh, why? Who was
In
it? I
which
think it was
case,
Ronaldo.
in
No,
which case
I
you
think it was-
stack all your best players. There was
Yeah,
still
Exactly.
people.
Exactly. And he was the worst one of the 5.
No, but they never put. Sterling never took one.
No, but Sterling's rubbish at penalties.
Is it? Okay.
Grealish should have been there before Saka didn't.
Because who scored 50% of his penalties. So I mean, there's always a.
enough. So
He's
it's-
got 50% record. Sterling's got 50% record.
Okay, this is me talking rubbish then. I still think it's the lineup.
He
I
went
still think-
based on quality, and that's what. And at least there's something. At least he went by something.
Alright.
Anyway. Dola, you can come. You can rejoin. I said, Dola, you can rejoin us.
Huh?
You can rejoin us. Back to what I was saying anyway. So after the match, how we were having a conversation, and so I don't even know what angle. I feel like you should even we should swap seats and you should lead this conversation because we had a conversation anyway, and a few topics were discussed, and a few themes came out of it. One of the themes, and I'll just say the names of the themes, and I'll let you go off these. So one of the themes were the communal obligation. That's one of them that I'd say. Correct me if I'm wrong anyway.
Yeah.
Communal obligation, which is what I discussed with my friend today. The second, I'm going to go into it. No. The second theme was I'd say, and Tao, feel free to jump in, was the impending what's the word?
Doom.
I wanted to say doom, but not doom. The impending or the
Plain English. Come on.
nah, what's the word? That
Crisis.
the impending crisis that may be about to fall upon a certain members of our community or of the community.
No,
So
crisis.
the
I don't
impending
understand.
crisis or Spinsterhood. That's what.
Wow.
That's what he wants to say.
Huh?
It's very deep.
He's gonna explain.
We'll jump into it now.
And what was there a third theme or was that basically it? That was basically it.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, that's basically it. So if I start off with the impending crisis, we'll do it in that order because it's better to do that one first.
Yeah.
How would you give me a bit of a spiel on how you explain the impending crisis?
So the way I explained it was that we are coming to a time where either it's parents or it's the individuals themselves are not aware that one of the most valuable assets they have is their youth. And this is when it comes to the marketplace of marriage. And once you allow that youth to expire or to, elapse, then things become difficult. And the difficulty comes in multiple angles.
Who are you talking about, by the way?
I'm talking about
People or
Sorry, I was
talking about
I was
specifically-
focusing on that. I was like,
I'm talking about specifically sisters in the community.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear.
No, specifically about youth
Yeah, go on.
being one of their valuable assets that they have, right? And once it's gone,
Oh, youth. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
youth.
okay.
They're youth.
I was
Being young,
being young,
yeah,
being
yeah,
young,
yeah.
being young. And the reason and the angle in which we had the discussion was that if you don't capitalize on your youth, later on in life, when all of those things that people told you were the priorities and you have them, are those things going to be the things that make you happy? Or are those things going to make you additionally qualified to get those men that you want?
Wait, what?
Okay.
So, for instance, your parents told you, oh, focus on getting your masters, focus on getting your PhD.
Oh, is this about
focus
marriage?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you. See, I wasn't listening. I was looking at that.
Nah.
I thought you were talking about youth.
No.
Okay.
It's about marriage. And
Okay,
this is the angle that's why I was talking about them
we're
capitalizing
going
on
here
their
now.
youth, right? And because the angle we came from was that the sort of brothers that, alhamdulillah, managed to keep themselves chaste throughout kind of growing up, the moment they're done with uni, the age of 21, the moment that they've settled and typically these brothers are working through uni, so they're stacking up a little. The moment that they'll have their first proper kind of career job as opposed to just a job outside of uni, they're 21. They're looking to get married right then, right there. So who are they going to get married to? If you're telling me you're not ready at that stage, bruv, you're playing yourself. Because these are the brothers, once they're off the market, they're off the market.
Yeah, it's true.
So if I'm telling you that the 21-year-olds are the brothers, this is the age brothers want to get married, and then you're telling me that, but I'm not yet ready, but who's going to decide when I'm ready? Yeah. The marketplace decides when you're ready. These are the brothers you want, and this is the time that they're looking to buy. This is the time you need to be looking to sell. Assalamualaikum,
that's been episode 41 of Jollof After Jummah. Make sure you like us. Okay. Dula, I can say you're saying that's true. You just agree. Anything to add to that?
No, I was just thinking about scenarios that I've been through. Where it was to the point where I was like, is there something wrong with me? Like, how all these sisters telling me they're not ready? Like, because I thought, in my head, it was like, when they're telling me they're not ready to get married, it's like, that's just code for, I'm not interested. But, long story short, it was a thing of, some sisters just, they had other priorities in life at that time. And like you said, it's a thing of, there are brothers that are of a certain, how do I put it?
Ilk.
Yeah. They're quality brothers, and the quality brothers that you're looking for. As we know, as Muslims, we know how important marriage is. Those brothers that you say you're interested in, a lot of them probably married already, or like that's their priority as soon as they're capable of doing it.
Yeah.
So where do you go from there?
What
stage do you feel?
And just on that, I think the ones that aren't, a lot of the time, are the ones that are focusing on something that whatever they're focusing on, the type of people that when they're now finished focusing on doing whatever they're doing, i.e. studying, for example, the people that they're gonna likely want to marry are unlikely to be the same type of people. It could be that are the ones that say, I'm not ready. If you get I'm trying to say that in a bit coded. Yeah.
I kind of link it back to in regards to religion as well, back to a lot of people that say they're doing stuff now, like let's say people that are less like that are struggling with more deeper things, I guess, when it pertains to the religion.
Okay.
Let's say when they receive nasiha, or someone spots them doing something that might hurt someone else, and you're like, fear Allah or something, and they're like, yeah, I know, I'll stop doing this, or I'll start practicing this when I'm older. It's like, do you even know you're going to live till that old age? Like, these are we always think about now, but sometimes you have to think, like, will we ever see tomorrow? But,
Ibs?
I don't know. It's, you know, when we have these conversations, I always try to look at it from both sides. So I've
got things for that.
Are we saying that it's basically the brothers that are dictating this marketplace? Because if a sister says
let me explain it this way: it's a buyer's market for brothers. Okay. There's more quality. There's from the perspective of, if the man when it comes to marriage and relationship, there's certain kind of responsibilities that Allah has put upon him, right? So he needs to be qualified in certain ways. A sister, yeah, she's, you know what I mean, you marry a woman for a beautiful a dean. But in terms of what does she need to be qualified to do specifically? Like,
there's nothing she has to do apart from being.
So there's a plethora of them, and a smaller pool of brothers who then meet all of those qualifications.
Yeah.
Do you think where the time and place we are in as well has an impact on who's qualified as well?
From the brother's perspective,
yeah.
I think for sisters, when it comes to being qualified for marriage and stuff, I think one of the most important things to get out of the way is just a basic level of knowledge and a basic level of etiquette and like decent character. Because at the end of the day,
which you should have anyway. You should have when you're 13.
Yeah,
14,
you should.
15.
But again, you're forgetting.
Whereas you shouldn't have a job.
You're forgetting the mother's going to be she's going to be the main teacher of the children, especially at the younger ages. So ideally, that's what you should be mainly focusing on. If we're talking about career and whatnot for future, at the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves, who's going to be the main provider? Who's going to be the one bringing the bread?
And all those things you just mentioned about that basic level of education, that's why I said 21. Because 21 is the age when people typically graduate in this country. So I was like, at least, okay, go to school, go get a higher education, learn a bit, that sort of thing, explore that all that good stuff. But I'm telling you that the people who you want, this is the age that they're looking to buy. Put it that way. It's a marketplace.
Okay.
And if you don't boil it down to those simple facts, then people are going to start
playing themselves.
You know what I mean? You're playing yourself essentially. But just to add in real quickly.
There's plenty more to add.
Who do we blame for this?
We've only even just boiled the rice, the stew and everything.
Primarily the blame, I don't actually blame sisters for this.
Parents, yeah.
I blame the parents, 100%. I blame the parents, 100%. Because you are a product of what you've been fed. This is, if a parent, for instance, I know some families where you know that the mom has been drilling in that daughter that, time out to that it's almost time for you to get.
Remember, no one of our listeners are Nigerian.
I understand. But
I know we're the Nigerian correspondent, but
no, but you know what I mean. Like
production's loud.
They were telling them that every little thing in the house that join me in the kitchen. Let's do this. Oh, because you know when you go to your husband's house, you're gonna have to. They prime them. They prime them as opposed to. Focus on education, and by the time the sister's 25, you start to joke to that. What's going on here?
Why are you married?
When were you married?
When were you married?
What kind of mentality is that?
That's the worst of both worlds because they're basically effectively pressuring you towards education when you're at the age when you're married, and then when you get older, and it's like at the end of the day, we're talking about sisters. Like sisters deal with a lot of emotions. So you can't just go to a sister and say that's like people that go to sisters who haven't got children and have been married for like X amount of years and say, when are you gonna have kids? Like,
let me just make sure we're all on the same page here, because a sister saying that she's not ready to get married at 21 for whatever is a perfectly valid reason. Yeah,
is a perfectly valid. What do you mean?
If she says she's not ready to get married, she's not ready to get married. That is a valid reason.
That's fine.
Yeah? Okay,
but don't come crying down the line.
Okay,
if you can't find somebody,
that's what we're saying.
Because
it's going to be more difficult when she gets. Okay,
so how is it?
That's my point. Because it's a marketplace, demand and supply.
Fair enough.
Not only that, there's much more females than males.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
That's even more. Yeah,
that is a fair point.
And I'm saying it from the perspective of they are underestimating how valuable their youth is that men are looking at. Because a man sees a sister that's a bit younger as okay, she is still
careful. Because I know him. Just take a minute. Take 10 seconds to think about what you're about to say.
The word I was going to use is malleable. So she's not set in her ways. No, from the perspective of there needs to be bend from both the man and the woman in a relationship. You know what I mean? If not, if you can't bend, you're gonna break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's gonna be still more bend. You know, young shoots, they bend a lot better than the ones that have calcified and solidified and all that kind of stuff. So from that perspective, men are still looking at that. Another perspective, you see the young brother who's trying to get married at 21. A lot of the time, the brother is not particularly looking to start a family straight away. The brother is still looking to, okay, let me play my wife a little bit, okay, maybe 3-4 years down the line, boom.
Shout them, man.
You know what I mean? This is the mentality. In case you don't know, I'm telling you now, this is the mentality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100.
Whereas a sister who, let's say, caught you at let's say just before 30, like there's a biological clock.
Yeah.
There's no time to say, oh, let's play sport. Bruv, we're trying to pump them all out.
Okay, so you said before we, because somebody production remind me, communal obligation, in case I forget.
Oh, don't worry. I'll remind you.
But there's more to unpack here. So we touched on the parents' responsibility.
Yes.
Now,
parents, big brothers, all of that.
Family. Okay.
Especially, to be fair, let me kind of let me unpack that a bit from the big brothers' perspective. You big brothers have the unique position of observing these brothers who might be good potentials for their sisters in their element. They're not putting on a show. You're just seeing that how is this brother in daily life.
Yeah.
And then you can form a relationship with this brother in a way where sometimes, and we see it from the Sunnah, we see it from the Seerah, that just because you want to be close to this person, you make a kind of marriage proposal to their daughter, their sister, to solidify that bond, right? So perhaps brothers are not doing enough on that front. That let me really form a relationship with this brother, and people don't understand as well the age difference between the Prophet Sallallahu Abu Bakr, Umar. The age difference was big. But when they talk about who were they close with, so it's not a case of you can still form that close relationship with a brother that's kind of younger and perhaps appropriate for your younger sister.
With your
you know what I mean? You're unique. Your parents, they're a bit detached. So as much as their job is to instill in the mindset that there's no such thing. There's no such thing as I'm not ready, but you should be ready at this age. You know what I mean? Prep them mentally to be ready at that stage. But then the brothers, older cousins, they're the ones that should be vetting these brothers, developing these brothers. I don't want to use the word grooming, but ultimately is the word grooming. Grooming these brothers to be capable of, or to be a good fit for their sisters and their little cousins.
Okay, so let's go back. So I'm not ready, because that's kind of like the term we've used here.
I think just to enter that, I think a lot of this as well is not just, those are not the sole reasons. Society plays a huge part in it as well, because society tells you should, and bear in mind we live in a non-Muslim land. Society tells you.
Basically, this is what I was going to get to.
You can have your fun as a female. Actually, both. Actually, you can have your fun, play around, and then
settle down later.
Dibble in your options long term, and then be together for X amount of years, and then get married.
Basically, have your cake and eat it.
Yeah, basically. And as Muslims, regardless of whether the fact that we're Muslims or not, it plays into our culture. And I do mention culture, not religion. As how many people are impressionable. They get led by friends. They get led by. And because their friends saying they don't want to get married or what age or whatnot, they're now saying this. But
you basically started off touched on what I was just about to say, in that we say not ready. So let's put ourselves in the mind of sister. When she says not ready, what does she mean? What does that actually mean? What is she doing in the meantime? It
can mean anything.
No, I'm saying, because I'm coming to the defense now. Kind of. What are they doing? Or give me some things. Because is it I don't feel mature enough? Is it what I believe marriage is something I don't feel I'm ready to do? Is that the reason? So for example, marriage means looking after the house of my husband, being submissive to my husband.
I can't speak for
raising children, having children.
I think society does play a part in what it means to be ready for marriage. I think people might just see marriage as a big deal, as you have a lot of responsibilities, when really you're just doing the things that you'd probably be doing at home in your own house with a partner. It's actually not.
Can I build on that? Because the thing is that, let's say the average age of marriage in this country is 29 or something like that, right? For women. What those stats don't reveal is that those people were probably in long-term committed relationships before they got married, right? So if a sister is looking at that average age and thinking, oh, my mate got married at 29, she's not Muslim, stuff like that, and basing your kind of
doesn't make sense,
off of that, it's
when that relationship started is when you should say your marriage started.
exactly, exactly.
Because the kafara will do the whole 9 yards.
Exactly, them man are basically living like they're married anyway.
They'll do the whole
Okay,
9
they'll be
yards before they
together
decide to get
14
married.
years,
Yeah,
get
they're living to they're cohabitating.
2 years later.
Yeah.
So I feel so from that angle, you can't be looking at wider society and thinking, oh, my friends are getting married at this age. Like I said, you can have that conversation with your kind of potential partner at that young age, saying that, look, there's certain things like, like being a mother, that I'm thinking that it would be good to postpone and stuff. Have that open conversation and let the man know that. And many men will be open to that. That is the ones that are married at 21, they're not yet at the kind of peak of their kind of financial kind of earning potential. They're as well thinking that, perhaps it's good to space out and all that kind of stuff. But to just think that you can get to that age and suddenly, boom, you're going to find them, they're snapped up already.
Fair enough.
Good. So why? So wait, okay. So do you believe that the sisters who this may apply to, do you believe that they're completely ignorant to this? Or there is it could be something else, and tell me if it's something else. Is it completely, are they completely ignorant to this? Or is there a belief that what we're saying does not apply to them?
They're playing themselves, yeah.
They're ignorant to it. They don't know that.
You've said your different answers.
They don't know it's a marketplace.
I think
they're not looking at it as a marketplace.
I'm gonna, jump in and give my opinion there, which BBC News. I think I agree on the whole with overall probably Ibs in that there is an innate belief that they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
I think it is 100%.
That they'll sort
Of course.
themselves. And the reason I say this is because I believe that there is a culture, amongst our sisters, our younger sisters, let's say, 1994, 1993 to 1997, to 2000, because they're 21 now. It's mad, isn't it? We're old. That generation, I believe that there's a shift in the sisters before them. So let's say like my big sister generation, the kind of 1988 to 1993 generation, they are the ones who in this country, they all, at a certain age, for maybe when they were college, like that type of thing, decided, I'm going to put on my hijab. They made that conscious decision to put on the hijab. We are going to be if we're just talking about black people, we're going to be the black Muslim sisters. We're going to be the first ones to, in this country, be black and be, wearing hijab and wearing everything and being openly Muslim and being proud of our Islam type thing. So they did that. Cool, yeah. And then what it created was and obviously when you're in a situation, it's like how, people say black people are proud, for example. When you're in a situation where you've been under adversity, you have to be more explicit with your demonstrations of pride, I'd say. It's the same reason, this is why people have parades. People that used to be oppressed have parades about being themselves. It's why you have not black, but like, for example, like something like pride. I don't want to talk about this. Why things like that exist? Because when I'm free now. Yeah. So cool. So I think there's a similar type of sentiment kind of going on with the sisters, from my observation. This is purely me, where they are kind of exuding the fact that they're proud of who they are. So there's a lot of, sisterhood. Okay. There's a lot of that going on, and part of that is like in terms of being part of just being like really open and proud of being Muslim sister. I'm proud of my hijab. I'm proud of this, and you're being outward with it. Yeah. How obviously part of the whole
proud of being single.
No, proud of just being a Muslim sister.
A Muslimah.
A Muslimah. Yeah, exactly. Proud. We are the Muslims. Like we're out here, proud. Whatever. Cool. Okay. Which So. And obviously part of the innate nature of something like a hijab, for example, that doesn't really mesh, isn't it? But that's a side issue. So as with that, I think that while enjoying their kind of pride and what everybody's telling them, be proud, be who you are, there's almost like we've got ourselves don't need anybody else type of mentality where top of and I don't mean not me saying they're saying I'm top of the world isn't me saying you shouldn't believe you're top of the world. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that I think that takes precedent over anything, and is almost that feeling of being untouchable, not untouchable. You know, I'll be fine. Like we've got a kind of thing that makes them almost think that everything's going to be okay. Yeah, I think it's related to that.
I'm more of the opinion that because brothers are so focused on getting married for obvious reasons, as soon as they're capable or as soon as they're able to, and these sisters have been fed that or have not been primed. They've not been primed to think with a similar urgency. It's simply a case of they've just been uninformed that these men that they want, they're going to lose them if they don't act now. And if they heard this warning, perhaps it will be a cautionary tale to them. And if their parents heard this warning,
that sounded like a verse from the Quran.
and if their parents are listening as well, and they heard this warning, perhaps as well they will start to change their tune a bit. Yeah. Right? And you know what I mean? We can multitask in life. Yeah. At the end of the day. Yeah. Like there's no reason why you say focus on one or the other.
Let me build back on what I was gonna say.
I completely hear what you're saying, but where I think that they're playing themselves is because it doesn't take it does you don't I don't think if you use your common sense and you look at the world around you, I don't think you need to be warned. If you can see, I don't honestly. If you sit up and you open your eyes and you see that there are brothers that are the same age as you, multiple of them getting married, and you and your friends are not. Let's be serious.
The saddest part to add to that is majority of these sisters that say they're not ready to get married, from experience, they're happy to, and it's not like you as a brother are saying, okay, you're not ready to get married, but let's do something on the side. They're the ones that are saying, I'm not ready to get married, but then they're like, but do you want to chill? It's like, why are you cheaping yourself?
In our communities, that do you think?
Yeah, no.
I think others that I've heard, other communities. I don't know, but the thing is, it could be, and I don't know.
Think it's specific communities. I think that's just culture in general.
I think to what your point is, I would have said, I thought you were going down the line of what we discussed before about because they're so focused on their hustle. Yeah. Like part of this
go back. That's what I feel like I needed to build more. So
part of this identity of being proud of Muslims that actually it's bred a group of or generation of sisters that are very much entrepreneurial. They back each other. They're doing stuff. Yeah. And in some ways, there's a double-edged sword.
They've got each other. Don't anyone else?
It's good that you're building. Actually, we need that from a community building perspective,
100.
And especially because let's say the man is working a 9 to 5. Yeah, actually, if sister owning a business, she's able to.
It's the best.
Childcare. It's actually really good. But then, if you then eyes off the prize, you know what I mean? Like you're neglecting something else because of it.
But they don't see it that way. They just see it. What I mean is, they just see it as this thing that I'm doing right now is the main priority. If I do that, that will kind of be as a distraction or.
Let me finish. I think it's part. It comes back on.
So in reality, it's the same thing.
Building off the point I was saying, I think it also comes, and it's something we discussed as well. That this is probably where I should have went. I didn't fully go. That the idea of them, part of that, we are sisters, but it's partly as a response, possibly in some cases, to in terms of who are the people putting them down wrongly in most senses, may have been what they've seen as the kind of cultural Muslim man type thing. It's also possibly, in a lot of cases, a response to that, whereas we're not going to be, shoved down, oppressed, silenced, all of that type of stuff. And something like the institution of marriage wrongly, but the way it's seen, is seen as something that is designed or something in place to suppress that.
This is what I was about to get onto.
And the fact that when it comes to men, for example, that unless they've been given a clear indication, this is observation anyway. this is not me speaking like it's fact, by the way, in case people, unless there's a clear demonstration of there being a man that they quote unquote want, plus is not that, oppressor, for want of a better term, they're not interested. But the thing is, they're not interested when you're at a distance, because the way women often work is that they are not emotionally involved and very easy to become emotionally detached until they are, and then suddenly poof. So while they're far away, I can imagine a group, some people watching us sit here and say, nobody wants you anyway. Do you know what I mean? I can imagine that, innit? Which is fine. But which is fine. No, do you know what I mean? I can imagine that will be, because that's the response when the group of men start talking about, you don't think you the natural response is please, who wants you anyway? Okay, cool. But this person, firstly, when it comes to that first issue with on terms of, is not going to be the person who's going to dampen your parade and suppress you, and you're not going to be the entrepreneur anymore. You're not going to be in a lot of cases, not every case, but in a lot of cases, you're actually wrong, and it's actually somebody's gonna support you and help you.
Honestly,
and secondly, this person that you quote unquote want, for example, it's like that often is maybe comes from a place of not immature. Okay, think of us as brothers, for example. Yeah.
Right,
I'm trying to say,
it could be immature.
No, it is immature, but I don't want to say you shouldn't want what you want in it, because you can want what you want. That's fine. But when you start telling yourself that there's a, I'm trying to say this, in the Jollof after Jollof friend. You know what I'm trying to say in it.
It's not the only thing that matters. That's what it is. Because there's two people in this equation, right? Yes, you might want something, but understand that other person wants something else, or might want something else. There needs to be a compromise. There needs to be a meeting in the middle somehow.
It's not everybody. Okay, the easiest way is to use numbers. Okay, you want 10 out of 10, for example.
Yeah.
Everybody wants 10 out of 10, innit? But it doesn't mean that everybody's gonna have 10 out of 10. That's just life. So you might get a 9, you might get 8. But that's the least crude way of me saying what I'm trying to say. So plus that, and what they're saying is you want 10 plus 10 who's going to openly demonstrate somehow, before I even know him, to me if you're married to me, your life is I'm gonna uphold you. I'm not gonna suppress you. And so then, what you see when you see the people that are just general, and this may come from different reasons, especially when like remember what I was saying about proximity sometimes causes tension that is unnecessary. When you're close to people, you often start to see you emphasize the negatives of them. And it makes you glorify or think the grass is green on the other side. Yeah. So because I'm, for example, going back to the example we were talking to you, and I'll abridge it a bit because I don't have to crop this out, is that when you may have people that are close together from a certain, for example, community, because of the fact that they're very close together, they see each other all the time. For example, they see each other's flaws, and those flaws you might start to associate with only people in this community. For example, I'll take it out of our community. Yeah, I'll take it out of our community. For example, like what's an example I commonly hear? Okay, at work, I have a lot of Indians. Yeah, you always hear Indian women talking, or Asian women talking down on Asian guys, they're not house trained, for example. They just want a mother. They want to marry a mother, for example. But it's like, but you think that there's not Africans that are like that. There's not Jamaicans that are like that. You think there's not? That is getting cut, obviously.
Brother.
Yeah. So. And we're back. Yeah, so like that it comes back to that, innit? That. So I think because of that, so going back to the original question, that is that playing yourself, that is like you think that it's coming, like you think it's fine. Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a mish because yours is ignorance. Yeah, that because you're basically saying you think it's fine, but it's not fine.
I think it's ignorance because up until really from the age of puberty, that's in this, like we say, in the West, there's this concept of kind of teenagehood. Like in reality, you go from being a child, when you attain puberty, you're an adult in terms of even like criminal responsibility age in this country is, I think, is like 10 or 11. You know what I mean? You can legally get married here at 16. You join the army. I mean, there's loads of stuff where they recognize that at that young age you're capable, right? We're the ones to kind of place limits on like a 14-year. Like, why should a 14-year-old not be able to give them a list of shopping, go to the shop and buy and come back with the change? You know what I mean? Like, why should we be babying people that? So from that age already, should be priming people. Not that they should be married at 14, but prime them so that by the time they're 21, that's 7 years of priming. That okay, cool, I'm ready.
Concept to them,
As opposed to at the age of 21, you're still saying that I don't know if I'm ready.
Especially as Muslims, Muslims, we should be training our daughters, as you said, priming our daughters to know that, okay, you're gonna grow up. The concept of being with a man that is not related to you is not even a concept. Like marriage, natural, that's how we move forward. That's the next step of life.
And I don't think we need. I think you need to prime the brothers as well, but the brothers have that internal drive to get married themselves. I don't think they need to be primed.
I mean, that's without a question. But
I think the brothers are racing to get married.
Yeah, I think part of what you were saying as well, that I think people might have this idea that marriage is, that marriage is something that will
dampen your shine,
like marriage is an institution.
Maybe I don't know if people think that marriage is something that you come home and do every day from 5 to 12. We're doing marriage now. You can't do anything else. Like, it's not that deep. It really isn't. It's not that deep.
But what I would say is another thing that we haven't discussed that actually we discussed the other week was that there could be other, maybe in the rare case, could be. It might not be any of these issues. It could be stuff like, it could be psychological issues. Like the sisters that we're talking about, there's a lot of sisters, a lot of them that go through stuff. They might have gone through stuff with other lads, other trash guys. And that's now, they're suffering from PTSD, or maybe they're suffering from some kind of mental
I think I've touched on this with you.
I think that also is another conversation to be had, because we've all sat here and admitted that there is a larger pool of sisters than there is brothers, and maybe we need to have a conversation as to why there's that massive disparity.
We spoke about it. Remember, we spoke about it.
Why are there not enough? When we said, do we judge brothers more harshly than sisters? It kind of links back to the themes we discussed in that episode. There's more to it though, because we can all sit here and probably admit that you can throw a stone and land on a trash guy, but then it's a lot harder for you to throw a stone and land on a trash sister. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what is another thing, and this goes back to the buyer's market thing. At the end of the day, your standards, men are able, because of life, partly because of sisters, and this is partly what my boy was saying as well. That for the sisters, he basically said, "Oh right," and he's non-Muslim. If girls aren't happy, and remember, I'm not saying girls have said they're not happy, because they haven't. That I heard. If girls are not happy, then change your. If you're not happy, for example, none of the guys I want me, then you have to like something else. Then, so for example, if you are a girl and you want, for example, if sisters, and I told him there's reasons for this. If sisters only want to marry, because there's another issue, there's another reason why there's more. If sisters only want to marry, for example, somebody from Nigeria, say you're Nigerian and you only want to marry a Nigerian, or you want to marry someone West African. If that's you, then, and you're not happy because there's no Nigerians, then you have to change what you want. You can't blame the fact that I wouldn't say
change what you want. I would say broaden the scope.
Or broaden your scope, especially if you like. Do you know what I mean? If you, but I told my response was, boy, you think it's only them setting these standards? They have parents that have a lot more influence on who they're marrying than they would on their sons. So there's other reasons that go into that. The buyer's market. Wow, your best opportunity to snag somebody who in 30 years or 20 years you're gonna be like, yeah, if I could go back in time, this is the kind of guy I want, is when you're young, because. At the end of the day, I don't want to look. Okay, I don't. I don't want to sound. Okay,
I think it has to be said, right? There are some brothers that are not going to wait till marriage. Right?
We sat down here on this podcast and congratulated 2 people for just getting married.
So,
man, they are waiting. That's basically it.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that the ones that have waited all.
And that's not me saying these are quality guys, isn't it? Because
one thing I'm just mindful of is I'm just imagining a sister sitting down and watching this episode and thinking, what are they gonna think? These, do you know what I mean?
But that's like
These Muppets, they think they know us.
Just wait, just
These clowns, they think they know.
I just want to say,
it's ignorance.
I
You're
do-
the ones that have said they play themselves. I
think
genuinely
they- I think
believe
they are.
that they don't understand the rules of this game. That's what it is. They don't understand.
But
Until it's too late.
I will say, in kind of in sister's defense that I do understand that there are a lot of trash guys out there.
100%.
There are.
And I made that point about us, the responsibility that brothers have
Yeah.
on
Oh,
grooming the
okay,
next
cool.
generation.
Oh, we'll
Okay,
get to
cool.
brothers.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but
But you said there's a lot of trash guys here.
just to add to your
Yeah.
point,
So
there's a lot of
what are
trash
the good guys?
But
Okay.
are a lot of these? What's the percentage of a trash guy wanting to get married at such a young
Exactly.
age and get-
The
and
trash
get-
guys
and tick
are
that
not
box?
trying to get, especially because, okay, bring it back to our community, Nigerians. Yeah, Nigerian men under the age of 24. If anything, everyone's telling us not to get married. So if you want to get married, your chances are it's a lot likely you're doing it for a good reason, for the right reasons.
Royal Oaks.
Because it's very
Is it Oaks or
easy for the man them to not get married and still be happy. Be happy. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy.
Let's not say happy.
So you
Let's
can't.
not say happy.
Okay.
Let's say
Still,
satisfied in certain areas of life.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Yeah. And you're not like, if I'm not getting, for example, if I'm not married, for example, no, nobody, maybe a few auntie, but nobody's pressuring me to get married.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no pressure.
Yeah.
There's no. So, boy, this is why I say, playing it, because it's because
Even when you talk-
Taofiq, Taofiq is happy to see people in a certain way.
even when you talk about
happy to
aunties,
think that
even when you talk about
I like to give people benefit of the doubt.
even when you talk
100%,
about
yeah.
aunties pressuring and stuff, this goes back to the side of the pool that sisters have compared to brothers. Like, you will find that when you're looking to get married as a man, there's a lot of sisters. Most sisters will want to go for someone younger, but like you said, if you're 28 and you're not married, you've got access to sisters that are, in some cases, 22, whatever, 20, that will look in your direction.
Yes.
And like you said, aunties that will say,
Yes was
he's
very
28,
forceful
but,
from Nothing.
what?
No, nothing. Go on. Sorry, I cut you.
No, I've finished what you're saying.
Exactly.
You raise a very valid point. And the crude way of saying it is that new models are being released in the market every year.
New plate.
Wow.
And bear in mind,
shape.
these guys, they're not of quality. I'm not saying if you're older and you're not married, you're not of quality, but don't be put in a situation where, what I'm saying is, don't be put in a situation where you're going to have to compromise more of what is on your checkbox, what is on your tick list, than if you were to say, okay, there's a brother that is here. He doesn't meet all of my tick boxes, but he meets most of them. Not some of them, not half of them, but most of them.
But this is once again why I say parents have a big part to play, because a lot of the time it's the parents at that age that you come for that sister that will block it. The parent is the one that will say, no, she's not ready. Oh no, so in reality, we almost need to package a section of this and post it to parents and be like, you are blocking the blessings for your daughters.
And those
cassette
parents,
Trust
like
me,
I said,
because that spare room in the house that you thought you were gonna change into a study, bruv, that's where your daughter's gonna be for a while, because you didn't allow her to go when people came knocking.
and these same parents are the ones that will berate the parents.
My thing.
What's
My thing. No. The way okay.
Like I said, these parents are the same ones that will berate these women and
Later,
say,
yeah.
why are you not married? Why are you not, as if, and again, that leads to
the parents need to be re-educated on this topic. They need to.
Okay, so
Communal
obligation. So Taofiq. Okay, let me give a bit of context. So obviously we've discussed the issue, the primary issue, the lack of men relative to the sisters, or So what part? Because this is the bit we haven't touched on. What part do the man them have to play in the origins of this issue, or the continuing? The continuity of this issue. What is the responsibility? So let's say us four, for example, and those are like, sorry, us five. What responsibility do we have to one, solve this issue, and what responsibility? How much are we responsible for this issue happening?
The issue in the first place.
Not as fathers. So probably not. When it comes to this happen in the first place, it's maybe not us specifically. Maybe it's the people a bit older than us or whatever. But who's responsible? Like how are we responsible?
Yeah. Let me explain communal responsibility or obligation as in the way that in my view of things.
Careful with that word obligation.
Please do.
No. This is the way I see it, right? Like, we all know that in the Quran that Allah created you from pairs and made you into tribes and nations, so you know each other. So that as the kind of basis that yes, it's not that we're inventing these concepts. We are a people. You know what I mean? So some of us are. We can, whether you want to use the wider term that we use across the UK as black, or you want to go more specific, African or Caribbean or Nigerian or Yoruba, whatever level you want to dissect it as.
Yeah, we belong to some.
We belong to some form of kind of group, right? And the unfortunate kind of reality is that when it comes to with the stats I've researched anyway, we're talking dating market, but let's extend it to marriage market, dating market. When it comes to men, Asian men are seen as the most undesirable. And when it comes to women, black women are seen as the most undesirable.
Yes.
Right. So with this knowledge at hand, if black brothers are not checking for black sisters, then who's going to be checking for them? So on an individual level, fair enough.
Let me quickly unpack that.
Unpack that first.
So basically what you said is, when it comes to the worldwide dating market or marriage market, relationship market, the people who are least likely to be wanted by anybody are black women. Yeah. And so from the women. And the people that are least likely to be wanted from anybody from the men side, is Asian men, according to the stats.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question is then, if
shouldn't black men be putting black women at the top priority of the list?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Isn't there then a responsibility on the black brothers knowing this to ensure that for the sake of our community, we prioritize our black sisters?
Or just to counter, is there not a responsibility, and I've already probably answered this before, is there not a responsibility on our black sisters or black women to ensure they are checking for everybody?
But I just told you about the stats, right? That
they're undesirable.
Other people are not checking for them.
So, but if you know you're not checked for, why would you only
limit
check
yourself
for the ones who are most sought after?
No. But it's not like black men are the most sought after. That's not the point. The black men are not the most, obviously, like
as white men.
Your white man is the most sought after.
But shouldn't you go for everybody?
It's more the fact that actually there's so much that, especially a woman marrying into another culture, there's so much that needs to be unpacked there. Like sometimes, to be fair, sometimes it's
for a black woman.
Yeah, for a black woman anyway. People, exactly. So much like,
that's what I kind of answered this already.
Exactly. Right. So,
I just wanted that to be covered so that people. I get it,
but let's focus on the part that we play as men, right?
Yeah.
So, if black brothers aren't checking for black sisters, then the likelihood is that nobody's checking for them, so they're gonna go unmarried. So let's say on the micro level, you might feel like, okay, I've made the personal decision that yes, because of love, like I'm gonna go marry, let's say, a South Asian or kind of North African sister, or let's say a Filipino sister, or whatever, right? On the individual level, okay, I understand it. People have their preferences. It is what it is. But when you zoom out and you look at what are the macro implications of this, because quite frankly, I'm indifferent to what your intentions were. And your intentions could be anything. The result or the consequences are still the same. It means that your little cousin or your sister or your auntie or your daughter are all going to face this compounding issue, because the small crop of quality men that are there aren't checking for these sisters. Okay, one solution you could say is polygamy. Okay, cool. You got one of those. Get a full house of everything. But in reality, this is not many brothers are doing that here. Many brothers say you're going to choose one, and that's going to be your solution. That's going to be your kind of the way you're going to live your live, right?
We've got a guest coming on soon, inshallah. That's going to have some things to say about that.
Cool. But let's live in the reality of things, right? A brother's only going to marry one sister.
It's not the done thing.
Whoa.
No. This is what is happening.
When you look at statistics,
I'm not saying that this is what should happen. Yeah,
but
I'm saying this is what is happening. So based off of
it's a fact. It's a fact.
Based off of what is happening, let's try.
That episode will come. Don't worry. Don't jump the gun.
Let's try to find a solution within this means.
Go on.
Yeah.
So that's the point I have. That there is a responsibility on black brothers to prioritize black sisters.
You changed your tune.
Me? Yeah. I've never changed my tune.
No, hold on.
What was the tune?
You slightly changed your tune. You haven't changed your tune because when you first said communal obligation, I was kind of dreading it a tiny bit because we've had this conversation before and you went further than just black and you said Nigerian. That's what I meant.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. In reality, I see what you mean. In reality, because
I'm sitting comfortably.
I was thinking the whole thing that you man that feel like you fulfilled your obligation.
Because we live
in practice. All that stuff sounds good.
Because we live in the UK. Like in reality, a lot of the black Muslim community. Like, for instance, I pray that North Bristol Masjid. Like they might as well be my community. Like they did the quote by broken English the other day. Like you know what I mean, they're Sierra but the culture is so close. At least West African culture. Like East African culture might be a slightly different. South African culture, but it's slightly different. But in reality, anybody looking at you in this country looks at you and doesn't think, "Oh, this guy's a Nigerian." They see this person's black.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So exactly. So and the other point about this communal responsibility is that there's the angle of nation building and community building. Black people are seen at the bottom of the community. Like as a people, we're seen at the bottom. As much as we might want to pretend that we're not, we're seen at the bottom. That's why Asian dads fear when the black brother comes to say he wants to come and take his son. I'm just like, what? Like I will find a bus driver to come and marry my daughter than to come and give her to you. Like that is his first.
There's nothing wrong with bus drivers.
Obviously, there's nothing wrong with bus drivers, but it's like that is his first thing in his mind. That why would I scoop so low? Because that's the way black people are perceived. So I'm thinking that as black people, bruv, especially the black brothers who are doing the best, how are you gonna be taking those resources out of the community and doing it out there, bruv? You need to be raising the next crop of black talent that are gonna raise the standard and raise the image.
I don't agree
What's
with
the
that
point
at
of being at the top?
I was thinking, Dula,
I know, but I have to say as I see it. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of being at the top if you're the only one there?
That's the way you see it. But at the end of the day, I'm talking from experience with somebody who said, okay, at one point, I only want someone who's Nigerian. Okay, that's not possible. Okay, I want someone who's black. Okay, that's not possible. Okay. Let me start. At the end of the day, it's easy said than done. But when you're going to these sisters and these sisters are saying, "Oh, I'm not looking to get married, but I don't mind be your girlfriend," or I don't all of this nonsense. Or not only that, okay, you met a sister that is cool for you. She whatever, but she's on some next stuff. She's on celebrating birthdays and that is the pool. Again, it comes back to the pool. Again, it comes back to what you want. If you're lax with it and you don't mind, or you think you can do a Bob the Builder wife and get a sister and change this about her, in which case you're fooling yourself, then that kind of sounds.
I completely disagree. What?
What do you mean?
You can't change a person. You're fooling yourself.
You're fooling yourself if you think you can see someone who she's got so many things you don't like and you want to change her. You can't make somebody your wife. You should find someone that ticks most of your boxes.
Okay,
and
cool.
work together towards changing.
Yeah, why do you disagree so strongly? Even if you disagree, why?
Maybe you misunderstood.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like,
I was like, why did you disagree?
I just misunderstood what he said.
Maybe I did it the wrong way.
No, you said Corona, innit? Okay, so you disagreed.
So I actually get that point, because like we said, I think it's a particular issue in our community that sisters aren't primed from that young age. Other communities, it's almost the reverse. As soon as they're 16, bruv, they're looking to marry them out. So they've been primed, they're ready for marriage, they got the mindset for it. So I can completely understand from that perspective, especially that's why I said on the micro level.
I get what you mean. I can think of certain man that Yeah.
Yeah, because let's move this slightly on. Shout out, man. Do you think? Okay, and this goes out to the Muslim community because this is something you hear on your Twitters and your what's that thing called? Clubhouses.
Sorry, bro. Sorry to interject. But even if we're talking the reverse side, the flip side of what I just mentioned about guys think guys seeing black women and not being attracted, that comes from society as well. Because where does all this stuff come from about the lighter the colorism, the lighter woman's skin is,
it's basically
the way her hair's textured.
So
we'll talk about colorism later, but colorism. Yeah. Women started it. Women started colorism and 100% to try to get the man them down. But we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Anyway, so is there an issue? I love that he whispered it like the mic, and then when I edit, I'm just gonna increase the volume so they hear you. They'll hear you. Full chest. I even add bass to the voice on the audio. Is there an issue? So it's part of the reason, because I'm sure this is what a lot of sisters or women will believe, because is that this is just for people trying to skate around the fact that that black men just overhype women that are either not black /
no, I mean
fairer skins, exotic, whatever.
The stats, and these are US stats, so I think it's not even as bad in the UK, but it's like one in 5.
Are you sure?
Okay, but then maybe it's the same.
I agree with him that it's definitely not as bad in the UK as it is in the US.
I'm talking about marrying outside of the race.
Boy, wait.
It's one in 5.
They're all French.
Explain what you mean.
So the stats that I've researched, right, show that black men marry outside their race at a rate of 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5 black men marry outside of their race. Yeah. Okay, in
so
this country?
No, in the US, and I couldn't find stats for the UK.
Okay,
that's why I prefaced what I was saying by saying that perhaps it's not as bad a picture in you. But let's take the US stat for instance. 1 out of 5, right? That isn't. There's still 4 out of 5 to play for. Like so, you know what I mean? That yes, it's a thing that very qualified brothers aren't looking at or checking for black sisters first. Or maybe they are checking for them first, but they didn't find them. They didn't hit kind of qualify, and then they moved on. But yeah, those are the facts of the matter.
Because in my experience, I can say that I don't. I need to be careful. Tell me if I've said a madness here, and if I need to cut it out. Yeah. From what I've seen, just what I've seen, I've been around a lot of Asians. I've been around a lot of Malis. I've been around a lot of West Africans, because obviously Mali's African. Nowhere do I see as much.
Somali's East African.
Yeah.
Nowhere do I see as much. Not even marrying out. It's more of a mindset that is a thing I'm really considering.
Yes.
Than
100%. Okay, yeah, 100. And on that, there's a Yoruba term, ojukokoro or lojukokoro. It means that
I know Ibs will say, of course.
It means that your eye is just like maybe that thing there is sweeter than the thing that said. Like the grass is always greener on the other side, sort of thing.
And why?
Why? Well,
because as much as we said the stat blah 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 blah.
Familiarity.
Obviously, this is just this. Yeah, but are the Malis not? Are they not familiar with? Are they not overexposed to themselves? Are they not?
That's exactly. So then that's why they might think that the grass is green on the other side.
No, I'm saying that I don't see Mali brothers
looking to marry outside.
Okay. I don't see my. Do you know what I mean? I might see Pakistani want to marry Indian, but I don't go. It doesn't go further than that.
Let's provide some context, right? Because this isn't unique to our generation.
Yes.
Right. If we look at the time that the Sahaba, after the conquest of the Sassanid Empire, these are the Persians, right?
Yes, yeah.
Under the Caliph of Umar ibn Khattab, there was a phenomenon where because the Muslims can marry Ahl al-Kitab, they can marry from the Christians, from the Sabi'in, from the Jews, that they were marrying them and abandoning the Muslim sisters, and they came to the Khalifa and said, yeah, Khalifa, what's going on? The sisters came to they came to and Umar actually put a ban. They put a ban on marrying, even though it's halal, of marrying Ahlul Kitab. And if you take even that back to the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, obviously after the death of our mother, after the death of our mother Khadija, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam married Safiya, and then he also married Aisha. But after those two, pretty much quite a few
With
were
Jews
non-Qurashi,
and- yeah.
right?
Even some scholars say that even today it's forbidden to marry a non-Muslim because the chances of them. I think
They say in the Muslim land you can, but in outside the Muslim land you should.
I'm saying obviously not all scholars, but some scholars have said that it's forbidden based on the fact that it's going to the reason why we were allowed to we permitted to marry non-Muslims was for the fact that
Islam was weak.
We would be able to do it we will only be permitted to do it in a way where it wouldn't affect our children or
the children will be raised Muslim because you're in a Muslim land,
and
even if
also,
there's a divorce, all of that kind of thing.
And back then they were like the reason why one of the main reasons why Umar bin Khattab made it forbidden was for the fact that a lot of these brothers would marry
and get there.
they would be affected, or the non-Muslims that they would marry would be spies. So in order to prevent
weakening the Ummah.
weakening the Ummah and all of this stuff.
So that's a non-Muslim. That's with non-Muslim women. Now let's even use the example of the Prophet ﷺ. So as mentioned, after the death of Khadija radiallahu anha, he married Safiya, also married Aisha. But after that, there was a spate of non-Qurashi marriages. And from the elite of the Quraysh, they came to the Prophet ﷺ and in so much words and said, Ya Rasulullah, what go on? Like, have you grown tired of our women, right? And this is what part of the reasons why they say Prophet ﷺ married Zainab bint Jahsh as well.
Sometimes people are married for political reasons.
Yeah, but of course that was it. But it just goes to show that this desire to taste from outside of one's, I guess, immediate kind of community and stuff like that isn't unique to our time and place. It's something that men kind of have wanted or kind of have desired from time. Okay. So that's the reason I wanted to contextualize it that way. But you raised a very good point as to why is it very much not.
And I'm talking about in the microcosm of just like our wider, let's say like London 2021.
Should I tell you one of the reasons why I think is the case? So for instance, like,
go on, let's go first.
Okay, you go first.
I think it's to do with the fact that black men have kind of become more desirable as well. Whereas before, black men maybe weren't as desirable. You take what you can get, and now the black men are more desirable by maybe all races. Then you now think, okay, because that's available to me, I want to go and taste that as well.
You want to make sure it's babies.
Yeah, trust me.
That's another angle of society playing its part.
Yeah.
Just in case, I'll decide. I'll ponder over that one.
Like part of the reasons that black men have been seen as more desirable is that some of these women want mixed race
white
babies.
women want Jadens and Raheems,
Sancho and them.
Fam,
it's a thing.
When they go into marriage meetings and they're talking about hair.
Yeah.
Like it.
And so I was going to say as well, one of the other reasons, right, like in terms of why we might not see it as much in other communities is that actually when it comes to marriage in other communities, in terms of expectations, there's a higher bar. It's almost like the way we approach our marriages is pretty much we are designing it from the ground up in terms of that we're not doing off of a blueprint per se. You know what I mean? We're almost free to map out a life that we want, how we see our marriage, not the marriage our parents had, how we see our marriage. Let's say the Asian community, for instance, now, like it's a thing. You get married, you're moving into the yard. You know what I mean? With Bengalis, is that typically is like the last born son is the one who is gonna live in their parents' house, and basically the one that will take care of the parents with his family moving in, sort of thing. And so because of that expectation, that's a lot for a woman to take on unless she's been primed that way. So you can't go get some person who's don't understand that this is the culture and think that you're gonna have a happy marriage because at least she's been primed from this from young that this is what she's gonna have to kind of go through, right? Whereas because we aren't approaching marriage from a kind of that, we don't have that sort of blueprint. I don't feel anyway.
No, we don't.
We're building from scratch. You know what I mean? So because of that, I don't think that we have as much of a demand to say that we need a specific type of woman because she's the only type of woman that's going to be able to comfortably live according to these kind of set criteria.
Yeah.
And with that, I feel that's why it came into the thing of whoever comes first that ticks all boxes and that is eligible, marry her. It's not really a thing of, obviously first you look through your own community. There's nothing there. You look.
So do you think you should? Because I can vouch. Everything you're saying, I can vouch for. But at the time, for example, I wouldn't have known if you're purposely, intentionally making sure I look here before I look outside. So you're saying that
I don't think it's not intentional. Naturally, that is what is around you.
But I think what's becoming natural is people are saying, people are closing their eyes until they get outside and then opening their eyes. I'm looking beyond.
No, I think people already know. They've already had a look and seen that what is around is not for them. And then
this is. Go on.
I was going to say as well, I just thought about it now, is that actually, you see how I said that we're not following a blueprint? Maybe some of these brothers who are looking outside have a blueprint in their mind. And they're saying that these sisters are not going to be able to fit into this blueprint.
Yeah, that's a good.
But then I don't
think that's a maybe.
How do they know there's obviously still going to fit in that blueprint?
I don't think that's a maybe. I think that's a definite.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases where people are, because if somebody, I don't believe that every single person that says they want to marry somebody from outside this community. They want to, not they ended up, but they want to.
It's about this community.
No, I'm okay. No, I don't mean this. When I say this community, I just mean black people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black people and black Muslims, where there's several there's several communities, not just like the man community as well. Yeah. I don't believe that every single one of those brothers is only doing so for like physical reasons. Yeah. I think there's other reasons as well.
So similarly, on that blueprint point around some Asian brothers and the expectation that, okay, because of the way we do things, the sister's going to have to move in, etc. There might be some brothers on the further end of the spectrum who also have a particular understanding of how marriage should be and kind of roles and responsibilities and the kind of, how she needs to behave and all that kind of stuff. And that blueprint might be completely consistent with Salafiyah, and some of them might be, they might have gone beyond. Right, one's extreme
and
one's
beyond
not.
is the same thing.
Just being extreme.
Okay, beyond and extreme mean the same thing.
Okay. So those brothers who are beyond or extreme in that level, and they might feel that, okay, perhaps a sister in this country or born and raised here ain't gonna be down with that. So I need to go get a North African. I need to go get somebody from here and all that. That's just giving an excuse, right? At the end of the day, it's always that question that the grass is greener, right? You don't know this as a fact.
They've never experienced that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because with time, last before we just do the quick bites, what is the so two things? I'll ask. I'm not gonna answer. I'll ask. Where is this going? Like, where does the wheel break, so to speak? And secondly, what's the solution?
So I don't. For the first question, it just like we said, crisis of spinsterhood. There's going to be more and more older sisters who are without partners who then need to
older than married, basically.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Who then need to kind of,
as a woman that's older than married.
Yeah. Who need to who need to settle for something else, or look to become second wives, all of that kind of stuff, right? There's that level. Solution, once again, I think is on two fronts. One, what the brothers can do to the parents, because the parents are the gatekeepers. On the parents' front, you need to prime your daughters and sons from young to look at marriage as something that's desirable from young, and something that they should aspire to. As well, as much as education is important, you can multitask. We are not donuts. You know what I mean? Other groups that are non-Muslim are in relationships at that age. You know what I mean? There's ways around it. And as well, you're not even those brothers who perhaps don't even have a job or all that kind of good stuff. parents can support them in the early days until they kind of get on their feet. We don't need to. It's not a case of we're throwing you to the wolves and you do your thing. You know what I mean? We need to reframe how we understand that concept, right? So that on that front, and on the brothers front, what we can do, we need to do a bit better job of befriending the younger brothers, of having that real brotherhood with them, of grooming them, of raising them, so that even just by the mere fact that they want to be close to you as a brother, they're going to be offering to have you kind of take your sister or take your cousin or if I come to you and tell you that, bro, I've seen a sister that I think is gonna be perfect for you. If a brother that you trust says words like that, bruv, that might be all the endorsement you need to take that sister.
That was more of a realistic scenario. So I know it's a time, but I just think there's so many other things that will prevent in some society a brother from saying, oh, I want you to marry my sister, or you would be good for me. That there's other things in play that make, even if you all have that brotherhood,
bro, you can have a pool.
I think you can have a pool. Yeah, exactly. That's why I like your second example was more realistic.
You marry that sister. You know what I mean?
Your second example was more.
That's basically what happened.
Yeah, you create a pool of qualified brothers. There's a pool of qualified sisters, and you're just making matches. You're matchmaking.
That's basically what we did in our community.
As long as they're not, shoved in some sort of committee. It's good. I'm probably gonna leave that.
I'm not gonna say.
Go on.
I'm not gonna say.
Huh? No. What do you think? What do you think the solution is?
Oh, I agree with what he said.
Do
Do
you think it's going that way as well? Just like unmarried, old and unmarried.
I mean, I think to be honest, I think I'm quite removed from that whole.
Sorry, the man that they just get married. Community who?
I think I'm a little bit.
You don't have any sisters, so you don't have no concerns.
Yes, it's not. Yeah, yes, I'm a little bit removed from it, but from what I have seen, I think I would agree that they probably are heading in that direction. And the brothers, I would say, do you need to do? Because I'm always someone that will look in the mirror before I start going and looking outside it and telling other people what to do. I'll look at when I say look in the mirror, I mean, I will just look at myself and other people that look like me and tell you that this is what you need to be doing before I start going telling people over there what they need to be doing, innit? So I would say that there is a obligation on black men to look at their counterparts first and to prioritize them before going out. Like I said, within, yeah, so
there's been a lot less disagreeing than I thought. I'm a bit disappointed. To be honest, I'm a bit disappointed. Even when we had the conversation before, growing up as age and just going older and stuff has had an impact maybe on how you see it.
Not necessarily, because like I've never disagreed with what he said. I've never actually disagreed with what he said.
He thought I boiled it down a bit too narrow. Like,
no, even when I never disagreed with him. I thought I'd go in that direction, but. Yeah, kind of rely on it. I never disagreed with what he said.
Cool. So the additional question I'll ask Dollar, just on top of the same thing, is: do you have worries when it comes to like your sister, for example? Because this is obviously irrelevant to her because she's younger.
No. At the end of the day, like we said, if we form a community, not even form a community, like even if you're someone who's known in multiple communities and brothers know you well and you've got a good relationship and you can kind of form a bond and say and know like what kind of brother, what kind of like we said, no brothers, no this brother's good, this brother's whatever, kind of form a relationship and know younger brothers and know when they're looking to get married and stuff. I think it'll be cool if you can make suggestions and be like, okay, cool, you're looking to get married. My sister's looking to get married, blah, blah, blah. My sister's of age, blah, blah, blah.
And you see that being a thing?
I think that's how it was. That's how we're meant to be.
From what you see of the youngers, for example, the ones that will be in that age bracket for your sister, do you think that's like do you have confidence that the man them are there and it's fine? Do you think, bro, like it's looking a bit slim pickings?
Obviously, the youngest, if we're talking about us, the youngest,
that anyone that would be viable for somebody that's your sister's age, for example, so. The ones that are just younger than us.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult because if we're talking about us specifically, we're seeing the pool of brothers that are on job and that that we see regularly at the masjid, because the brothers talking about, most of the time we see them, it's only at the masjid. That circle's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and naturally some brothers are going to get, like we just said, brothers are going to get married off at the quickest opportunity. So it's always going to be difficult, and as we said, we've got black sisters, we've got black daughters, whatever. It's always going to be difficult. I think if we don't accept that, then we're fooling ourselves. It's always going to be difficult, but I think it's about, again, making plans, putting precautions in place, planning ahead to make sure that when the time comes, at least at the smallest level, at least our daughters, our sisters, they have multiple options, they have many options, unlike where you're looking for options. You don't want to be looking for options. You want to have options. You want to be in a situation where the options that you have, either they're not interested, they've already got someone they're speaking to, or that's for me, that's ground zero, and then work your way up.
Cool. Yeah, man. It's mad, isn't it? Like, it's mad that basically compounds everything we've said, doesn't it?
Oh, huh? You're gonna answer the question.
I said I wasn't gonna answer the question.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Do you want me to? I'll answer. Cause it's
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. So, my answer is that I foresee, I fear issues coming in the horizon for the sisters, and my biggest fear is that what happens is that people that have, like, for example, been raised well with good morals, because of society, because of what they want, natural wants, end up in the arms of people who are not maybe qualified / the best for them, who will they're influenced just because of the fact that man, no matter who the man is still going to be the quote unquote head of the household, and they are taken further away from or taken away from that good upbringing, good morality, all that type of stuff, or are in situations where their marriage is out of almost like circumstance because of, and there's breakdowns, there's divorces, and all that type of stuff. That's my fear, and that often comes when somebody is in a bigger state of kind of desperation. Solution wise, I think the biggest solution is, I think that there needs to be we need to kind of demystify a lot of the misconceptions or preconceptions between brothers and sisters, boys and girls from the same community, and people need to start seeing each other as a bit more human, and seeing the kind of benefit in
seeing each other as a bit more human.
In terms of all these things, all these reasons that people tell themselves that like the girl, this guy's gonna, remember saying that I don't want to marry these guys because these guys are gonna dampen my shine. I don't want to marry these girls because these girls are not good, are rude. All of that type of stuff needs to be.
Does that happen?
And that's
we
the stuff.
create villain stories in our head that
100%.
makes us think the grass is green on the other side.
100%.
And that's the stuff now that I think needs to that once that needs to go, and that will help, obviously, inshallah, that bridges can be built. Taofiq, if you can give us the quickest reminder, please.
Yes. And the reminder is in relation to this period we're in of Dhul Hijjah, and
we're not going to be in Dhul Hijjah by the time this.
I know, but at the moment we're in the kind of the 10 first of what day is this? Day 7, day 8. But the point about it was that Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and many of us, including myself, and round for myself first and foremost, have reached that qualification in terms of means to be able to go for Hajj. But we're lacking in not going for it. And this lockdown has taught us that you think that you are gonna, if lockdown, you know what I mean, death can come at any time. But even something like lockdown came now, where people who had been planning to go Hajj couldn't go. 2 years in a row now, and next year you can imagine the backlog, right? So as much as it's my intention, inshallah, that I was planning to go next year, I'm still gonna have that firm intention. I'm gonna call the agents I can to see if I can make it, even if I have to pay a little bit above the odds in order to make it, to fulfill that obligation. Inshallah, that's my intent. If it doesn't happen, inshallah, Allah records the good intent.
Yeah,
But it's more, the reminder really is that don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
I mean, brothers are going on holiday, brothers are buying nice cars, brothers are getting married. It's like, actually, what should have come first, Hajj or marriage?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
Holidays and cars, yeah, but
These are shots to myself.
No, fun's a pillar, bro.
These are shots to
fun's a
myself
pillar,
as well. Exactly.
one's a pillar.
We had we kind of had this conversation.
If you can't do it,
Remember, we can't. We have to wrap. We're going.
no, go ahead.
No, I'm saying go on. I'm just saying, let's not
I
be
was
too.
just gonna
go on.
say that if one you can't really do and one,
I think what he means is brothers are spending 10 grand on weddings. I think that's what he more meant.
Okay.
Yeah, that which is
Yeah, I think just kind of in support with this, and we mentioned it briefly before about how it's not spoken up. Yeah,
When we spoke
about how it's not
those are
spoken
the two
about
forgotten pillars. Yeah,
because maybe we're young and this maybe it's not something that we're able to do. But
even I basically did it.
We get to the stage where we are able to do it, but then there's no one reminding us, so that we just forget about it. So,
even when I spoke about zakat being forgotten, in a way, on reflection, I even kind of brushed Hajj by saying, it's not as relevant.
Hajj is something that most people, especially our age, just write off. They're like, they don't even try saving up for Hajj because already in their mind is already it's
a grown man thing.
Far-fetched.
Grown man thing.
Yeah.
So we all need to
Allergies. Trust me, that kind of plays into it as well, you know.
I think it's
The whole
allergy is an old man
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Man. I bet beautiful reminder. Allah make it easy for us to achieve and fulfill the obligation of Hajj in the near future before it is too late, and also the same for our viewers.
Sisters, if you don't think you're playing yourself, the floor is open for you to come and
defend yourself. Boy. The comments are there. The comments are there.
Yeah, well, I'm always open to
Bro Tao, his address will be in the description if you want to.
Don't even put my full name.
I'll put his email. I'll put his LinkedIn. I'll put his employer's address. His work email.
You know, we cancel culture. You have to be careful. Hey, please, bro.
I don't know. Anyway, hey, man.
That's episode 41. Socials quickly. Instagram and YouTube are Jollof After Jummah. Twitter is JJ_pod. You know, as usual. Floor's always open, so let us know what you think. And Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.
Yes.
Jackal here. Tao, man.
Nah,
he's not. If it's test, you don't test. You don't say. But Tao's that test, your brother. Well, anyway, he's not hearing it, so I won't say that. I won't say he's a waste man because he's not here. But you know.
Assalamu alaikum.